Hey, this is Bruce Muzik again, and I'm coming to you live from Los Angeles, California on Venice Beach. It's a beautiful balmy day here in the second week of January. And today we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, or perhaps more importantly, we're going to talk about your vision for 2009. So why are we talking about New Year's resolutions 2 weeks into January when the New Year is already passed? Well, research shows that 88% of New Year's resolutions don't last, that people give up and quit in them. 88% of them. That means you have about 1 in 10 chance of actually succeeding with New Year's resolutions. So I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I think the whole fundamental premise is flawed, because people go in, they last 2 or 3 days, and then your resolutions go back to their normal way of being. Why? Well, I believe it is because people haven't created a vision in which their New Year's resolutions can live. Now, if you've been watching my videos regularly, you'll know that I'm fanatical about visualization, that it's the one thing that I believe has allowed me to achieve the success that I've achieved in life really, really fast and accelerate ahead of the pack. And today what I'd like to do is speak to you about the power of creating a vision. So one thing you want to know about the mind is the mind locks on to pictures far easily than it does to any other sense, because pictures contain a lot more information than any of the other 5 senses. If you think about it, smell contains some sensory information, taste contains a little bit of sensory information too, perhaps a little bit more in feeling. Feeling contains quite a bit of sensory information. Sound contains even more, because you can communicate with language, we can make meaning out of words. So there's a lot more information contained within a sound. But perhaps the most important or the most powerful way the mind can receive information is through pictures. And that's because 80% of the mind's sensory information comes in through pictures. If you think about it, a picture can communicate 1,000 words. You've got texture, you've got meaning, you've got color, you've got shapes, you've got objects, you've got images of people doing things. In pictures you contain so much more information than you could in any of the other 5 senses. So if you're wanting to give your mind a goal, a target to move towards in 2009, the way to do it is not to create a New Year's resolution. The way to do it is to create a vision in your mind of where you want to be, and then make sure you visualize that vision at least once a day for a month, to program it into your mind. And what you'll notice begins to happen is that once this vision is programmed into your mind starts to look for ways and opportunities out there in the world to show you opportunities to get your vision. You'll have noticed this if you've ever bought a new car before. The minute you choose the make and the model of the car, suddenly you see them on the streets everywhere. Why? Because your mind's looking for them, because it's programmed with that picture. So here's what I'm going to recommend you do. Work with the worksheet that you can print out down below, and you're going to answer several questions. The first question is this: what is it that you would like to achieve in 2009? And I want you to choose the top 3 things, because if you overload yourselves with hundreds of goals, sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming, it gets a bit hard to believe that all that stuff will happen. Just choose 3 things that you can comfortably believe you could achieve in 2009 and you want to achieve in 2009. And if you did achieve them in 2009, that would make 2009 an extraordinary year for you. Then I want you to ask yourself this question: how would I know that I had achieved this thing in 2009? So this is the second part of your exercise. And you're going to answer that like this. You're going to look back and you're going to paint a picture, a visual picture of how you would know, what would have to happen, what you would have to see that would indicate to you that you had achieved this outcome that you wanted to create for 2009. So that could include people, places, colors, textures, objects that you're seeing. So let's say, for example, in 2009 you wanted to win an award for being an extraordinary singer. Let's say you're a musician and you wanted to win this award. Well, what you'd do then is you'd ask yourself the question: how would I know I'd won a music award in 2009? Well, I guess you'd know because you'd be on stage accepting the award. So you may want to create the picture of what it would look like for you being on stage accepting that award. So you'd have a microphone in your hand, you'd see the microphone, you'd look down at yourself, you'd see yourself dressed in some kind of fancy dress because you'd be at an award ceremony. You'd look around and see cameras flashing. You then want to put in all the 5 senses. You'd hear the sound of cameras flashing, you'd hear the sound of an announcer announcing your name having won the award. You'd feel excited about it. You'd then perhaps taste some water as your mouth is dry, as you're giving a speech on stage. You drink some water, and you might smell your cologne or deodorant or a perfume that you have wearing at the time, and you really create this vivid picture including all the 5 senses, but particularly the visual sense of what you're seeing out there, and you'll write that down. Then the next step is to visualize that every day for at least 30 days. And you don't have to spend a long time. You can just spend 5 minutes a day doing it. This has been the secret of so much of my success, of so many of the miracles happening in my life. And if you follow this procedure, I promise you, I can guarantee you extraordinary results. But you've got to stick to it and do it every day for 30 days. Now, if you want to make visualization easy and you want to maximize your ability to use your imagination, I highly recommend you check out my Relaxation for Manifestation product. It's designed to help you visualize in the 5 senses. If you listen to it every day like I do, you'll be able to relive your goal in full Technicolor with stereophonic sound, with huge enhanced feelings, with taste and with smell, round and round, so that it almost becomes real for you. So real that your mind can't tell the difference between your imagined experience and an actual real experience. And when that moment happens, your mind is programmed for your goal, and you'll begin to notice that you begin to attract opportunities to bring that about effortlessly. This happened to me over and over 2008. I'd done a mental program using the Relaxation for Manifestation for having a New York #1 best-selling book. Well, I had my book released this year and it went to #1 on Amazon. We haven't yet got to the New York Times, but the book that my story was released in was #1 on Amazon twice in December, right? That would never have happened had I not visualized it and seen it over and over and over and given my mind instructions to show me opportunities in which that could have happened. I've met an incredible mentor of mine, befriended him, and got to speak with him on stage. The same thing happened. I created a vision of myself speaking on stage with this man. I then visualized it using the Relaxation for Manifestation, and a few days later, he came up to me, approached me, invited me to come and speak with him on stage in front of several hundred people. It was a huge honor for me. Same thing happened recently. I'd wanted to speak with teachers from The Secret. Well, just last weekend, I got to speak with Dr. Joe Vitale, one of the biggest teachers in the movie The Secret. That happened through me seeing it, writing it down, using the process I've just taught you, and visualizing it with my Relaxation for Manifestation. So here's what I recommend you do. Do the exercise down below, set your intention. Then go and click on the link down below and get yourself a copy of the Relaxation for Manifestation. You'll also get an owner's manual with it that'll teach you exactly how to do this process in far more detail. So from Venice Beach in Los Angeles, this is Bruce Muzik signing off, wishing you an absolutely miraculous day. Remember, do that exercise now. Don't start 2009 without doing it, because it'll just be a continuation of 2008. So print out the worksheet down below, do the exercise, and then click on the link below and go get yourself a copy of the Relaxation for Manifestation to help you visualize your vision for 2009. I hope this has been valuable for you. Please do leave your comments down below if you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you soon. This is Bruce Muzik signing off, wishing you an absolutely miraculous day.